Welcome to the Binge List. I'm Greg, and Netflix has a monster library with so many titles it can be hard to find something to watch, and I talked about one of my favorite movies based on a true story, Rush, in a recent video, and it sent me down this rabbit hole of movies based on true stories, and I honestly forgot how many good ones there are. From inspirational sports moments, iconic musicians, to finance, history, action, there's really a based on a true story movie for whatever you're interested in. But let's talk about 10 of the best that you can check out on Netflix right now, and I do rank them based on my own personal viewing experience, and all of these based on a true story movies have the typical Hollywood flair added to them in varying degrees. But stop mindlessly scrolling, stop wasting your time, and let's jump in and check out the list.
How much did we make today?
5 million.
How much did we lose today?
$1 billion.
You got rich dudes pissing in their pants right now.
First on the list, I want to bring up one of the newest movies here, and this is Dumb Money. This is a comedy drama film that chronicles the story of an unexpected event surrounding the GameStop short squeeze back in 2021. Keith Gill, aka the Roaring Kitty, this regular guy and avid Reddit user, invests his entire life savings into this stock based on online discussions. As his social media posts advocating for the stock gained traction, the stock price soared and disrupted Wall Street giants who had bet against the company. The film really is a David versus Goliath battle between these everyday individuals and the heavy hitters of the financial world. I am far from a financial expert in any stretch of the imagination, and this film does delve deep into some complex investing/financial concepts, which could be pretty boring if they were done the wrong way, but they make it very easy to follow for simpletons like me, and even those components were entertaining. They infuse a wide range of humor styles in this movie with the dramatic elements of the story to keep it lighthearted with plenty of laughs along the way, and the film has a fantastic cast with plenty of star power. You have Paul Dano starring in this, but also Nick Offerman, America Ferrera, Vincent D'Onofrio, Pete Davidson, and Seth Rogen. This is a fun movie around a significant financial event in my lifetime where an underdog really takes on these titans. Well worth checking out for great actors and an engaging story.
The survival of the Scottish is at stake.
Next on the list is The Outlaw King. This is an action drama set in the 14th century Scotland and tells the story of Robert the Bruce. This is a nobleman forced into exile after failing to secure the Scottish throne. He's declared an outlaw by the English king. Robert rallies a small band of loyal followers and embarks on a daring mission to reclaim his birthright and free Scotland from English rule. Despite not having the most accurate Scottish accent ever, Chris Pine is great in this movie. He brings his usual charisma and some emotional depth to his portrayal of Robert the Bruce, showcasing this character's determination and leadership. One of the standout pieces in the film for me is the battle scenes and the action sequences. Each scene has intensity and this realistic portrayal of the brutal medieval warfare, and this movie offers you a really unique glimpse into the harsh realities and the social dynamics of this era in time. Overall, this film has a compelling story that depicts this relentless pursuit of freedom, the sacrifices demanded by his cause, and the brutal battles he faces against these overwhelming odds. Well worth checking out.
It could have happened to anybody, but it didn't. It happened to us.
The third movie on this list is The Dirt. This is based on the best-selling autobiography of the world's most notorious rock band, Motley Crue. This was co-wrote by the band members of the Crue, so I definitely take the accuracy with a grain of salt because, well, I'm not sure that they remember everything, but this is the story of this legendary heavy metal band known for their outrageous lifestyles and rebellious musical rise to fame in the 1980s Los Angeles rock scene, depicting their struggles, excessive nature, and internal conflicts as they navigate the music industry and deal with these personal demons. I have to start out by saying they had a great cast in this movie. They had Ian Rowan, Machine Gun Kelly, Douglas Booth, and Daniel Weber playing the main band, with in-depth portrayals of the personal demons these guys went through and the dependencies on each other at such an emotional level. There is a lot of layers to this movie. It does show the epic moments, like this band's contributions to music, but also the bad with the struggles with addiction and self-destructiveness along the way. As a fan of what is now referred to as classic rock music, it is really cool to see the 1980s rock scene capturing its energy, the rebellious spirit of this time, and how it just all came to pass. The Dirt is an electrifying movie showcasing this relentless passion for music. So if you enjoy Motley Crue, the rock and roll spirit, or a movie that doesn't shy away from personal demons, this is a great option.
The American people need champions to remind them what they're capable of.
From the down and dirty rise of the band Motley Crue to the truly inspirational story of Jesse Owens, my number 4 pick on this list is the movie Race. This film chronicles the inspiring story of this track and field athlete set against the backdrop of the 1936 Berlin Olympics and the rising political tensions in the world during this time. Owens defies the social prejudice of this time, both at home and abroad, and you follow him on this journey to a record-breaking 4 gold medal victories that serve as a powerful statement and make him a legend. This is a story that I was extremely familiar with going into this movie. I have seen a few documentaries about this story, and Jesse Owens is such an incredible story of overcoming adversity and legitimately a triumph against every odd you can think of. Stephen James does such an awesome job as Owens in this film. He really brings his determination and strength to the screen. And there is an awesome supporting cast with Shanice Banton, Jason Sudeikis, Eli Gore, and Jeremy Irons supporting him on this epic journey. When I was researching this film, I did find 2 things about this film that I thought were really interesting. They weren't really reviews or recommendations, but I wanted to share them. And that was Jesse Owens' daughters played super active roles in the film's production, offering guidance and ensuring authenticity when they were putting it together. And then the film's release was actually timed to coincide with the 80th anniversary of the iconic 1936 Olympic Games. This is a great movie with great performances and is a truly inspirational story, well worth the 2 hours and 15-minute runtime.
Get a haircut, buttercup!
In that moment, I watched that skinny boy transform into a superhero.
My number 5 pick is all about the king of rock and roll himself, and that is the film Elvis, where in 2.5 hours you follow the rise and fall of Elvis Presley. Told from the perspective of Colonel Tom Parker, Elvis's flamboyant manager, the film explores the complex and often strained relationship between the two. It delves into Elvis's musical journey, starting from his early performances in Mississippi to his meteoric rise to stardom in the 1950s, his Hollywood ventures, and his later struggles with addiction and just the commercial pressure put on him. Austin Butler, who plays Elvis in this, is really a great actor. I just caught up on Masters of the Air on Apple TV Plus, and his performance is great, and his portrayal of Elvis is no different. He embodies the iconic performance style of this legendary figure and captures both his charisma and his vulnerabilities in the darker moments throughout the film. I really love titles that bring you into the world with the characters, and this film has this unique visual style with its use of vibrant colors and dynamic editing, reflecting the energy and excitement of Elvis's career and this time period. Which, if you're familiar with the director Baz Luhrmann, who directed this film, you would come to expect this, as he's directed other films like Moulin Rouge and The Great Gatsby that do these same things. This film has plenty of his iconic songs if you enjoy his music, and I honestly didn't know much beyond that about Elvis's life, but it was interesting to see in the film the darker aspects of his life, including the crazy amount of manipulation by his manager, Colonel Parker. This is another great movie on this list about this rock and roll legend with an awesome performance from Tom Hanks and Austin Butler, and it really shows a new perspective for casual fans of this icon's life. Let's transition from iconic musicians and athletes to a story that's a little lesser known to the general population. My 6th pick is The Society of the Snow. This is a recent addition to Netflix that follows the harrowing true story of a Uruguay rugby team whose plane crashes into the remote Andes Mountains in 1972. Stranded, injured, and with little supplies, they face the brutal realities of their situation and fight against impossible odds to stay alive. As desperation sets in, they wrestle with unthinkable choices and a desperate struggle for survival. You would definitely classify this as an inspirational story, but I do want to let you know right away that certain scenes of this survival can be quite graphic, depicting some of the harsh realities of this type of situation, something that I honestly was not expecting going into this. But I can say that this adds to the film's portrayal of the survivors' ordeals, raises the stakes, and makes it intensely gripping and even emotional at times. I am not familiar with really any of the actors in this film, but even through the English dubbing, they do a phenomenal job bringing the human resilience and emotion to the screen, showing this team's sacrifices and complexities of surviving under these extreme conditions. This is a well-made movie directed by J.A. Bayona, who brings his visually stunning approach to the Society of Snow. Excellent option to check out on Netflix.
If you miss a line in the game, you reset. You miss it on the track, you could die.
My 7th pick on this list is a great movie. It's not the best movie on this list, however, it is the one where the subject matter resonates with me the most, and that is Gran Turismo. I grew up around racing, I raced myself in real life, and am now an avid sim racer as well, so the true story of Jan Mardenborough hits the mark. This is a story about a young British man with a working class background who has a passion for the online racing simulator Gran Turismo. It follows his journey as he participates in a competition launched by Nissan that aims to find and train talented sim racers to become professional race car drivers. Honestly, who wouldn't want to go from a PC to a real life racer? So I'm sure this hits the spot for many, and this is a journey that is really uplifting and an inspiring roller coaster, showing Jan's dedication and perseverance through so many things. I did not really know Archie Madekwe going into this movie, but he does a phenomenal job as Jan. And Madekwe and his co-star David Harbour are this powerful duo in this sensei-pupil type of dynamic, along with Orlando Bloom and Jaimin Hunsu, who are not in the movie as much, but definitely make an impact when they're on the screen. If you enjoy racing films or real life racing, you're probably going to understand this, but not all the on-track action was super realistic. They definitely Hollywooded up a bit, but I still appreciated the racing. It was extremely exciting and fun. Plus, you get to see how much goes into the world of racing. I knew I was going to enjoy the subject matter of this movie, but honestly, I was surprised how much I enjoyed it as just a great movie. It's very inspirational, it's emotional, and it's action-packed, well worth checking out.
Rich teams, and there are poor teams. Then there's 50 feet of crap. And then there's us.
That's $1, man.
What?
Welcome to Oakland.
My 8th pick on this list is one that I've talked about before, and it keeps popping up on lists because it is truly a great movie, and that is Moneyball. This is a movie, in my opinion, that has some of the driest, most boring subject matter, math and baseball, but they managed to keep you engaged the entire time during this film. And this is the true-ish story of Billy Beane, the general manager of the Oakland A's baseball team. He's facing a massive uphill battle of financial limitations that make it almost impossible to compete with the bigger budget teams through traditional means. Billy and his assistant Peter Brand utilize innovative statistical analysis to assemble a competitive team of undervalued players based on data rather than traditional scouting methods that challenges the established practices, shocking the baseball world. This movie has both Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill starring in it, along with Philip Seymour Hoffman, Chris Pratt, Stephen Bishop, and plenty of amazing actors, so I can assure you the acting is high quality. But like I mentioned, they do a great job taking the subject matter and crafting it into this really compelling story. It's a true underdog narrative, to be honest, and it explores challenging traditional methods with innovative thinking, focusing more on the strategy and management aspects of baseball instead of the on-field action. And me being someone who doesn't really follow baseball, I never felt lost or confused as to what was happening as they explained things very well. And one of the most surprising aspects of the film is probably the amount of laughs that you get in it. It has witty, sharp, and often humorous dialogue. A lot to enjoy with this one, from great acting to a compelling underdog story, an awesome option on Netflix.
Around the world twice, talked to everyone once. There ain't nothing I can't do, no sky too high, no sea too rough. Learned a lot of lessons in my life. Never shoot a large caliber man with a small caliber bullet. Anything in life worth doing is worth overdoing. Moderation's for cowards. I'm a lover, I'm a fighter, I'm a UDT Navy SEAL diver.
Number 9 on our list is a military action drama, Lone Survivor. This is based on the true story of Marcus Luttrell, a United States Navy SEAL, who along with his 3 teammates was ambushed by Taliban forces in Afghanistan in 2005. The film follows their harrowing fight for survival against overwhelming odds, showcasing the courage, resilience, and unwavering bond between these guys. The film has a ton of gripping and realistic portrayals of combat. Its intense action sequences capture the emotional weight of the story. The movie can be gut-wrenching at times, to be honest with you. Things start going wrong and it just snowballs and snowballs, and what could go wrong does. And it does have some intense combat scenes, and just to warn those of you with a weak stomach, it does have some intense combat violence. There are plenty of solid performances in this movie, even if some are not in the movie a ton, but the cast includes Taylor Kitsch, Emile Hirsch, Ben Foster, Alexander Ludwig, Eric Bana, and of course Mark Wahlberg, who is outstanding as the lead in this film, Marcus, who is put through the ringer in this movie. He shows intensity and emotional depth the entire way. And the cast went above and beyond to make sure that this film was very realistic. They actually underwent extensive physical training to portray these SEALs and make sure that they fit the bill. This is a great movie, absolutely worth checking out this story about bravery and sacrifice of these Navy SEALs and their dedication to their mission.
It's beautiful. It's the greatest encryption device in history, and the Germans use it for all communications.
Everyone thinks Enigma is unbreakable.
Let me try, and we'll know for sure.
The last truest story on this list is another war movie, but it is not your typical war movie. This is The Imitation Game, and it focuses on the contributions of those behind the scenes. Set during World War II, this tells the true story of Alan Turing, a brilliant but enigmatic British mathematician and codebreaker. Turing leads a team of codebreakers at a top-secret intelligence center. Their mission, crack the Enigma code, the seemingly unbreakable cipher used by the German military during World War II, and turn the tide of the war. This may be personal bias, but whatever, I believe that Benedict Cumberbatch is such a versatile actor. From The Grinch, Smog, Doctor Strange to Khan, he really embodies his characters and his performances, and that carries right into his portrayal of Alan Turing. His captivating performance captures his genius, his awkwardness, his dedication, and his vulnerabilities in this film. And the film does not have the action or excitement of some of the others on the list, but it does have a suspenseful plot, filled with historical context and crazy code-breaking challenges that keep you engaged throughout. Like most movies with complex themes like technology or code-breaking or finance, they do a great job in this one of simplifying it, keeping it easy to follow, and that actually adds to the dramatic effect because you know what's going on. This is an awesome movie with 8 Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture, and it won Best Adapted Screenplay. Definitely recommending this one. That is going to do it for our list today, everybody. You can check out some of our other Netflix recommendations here, but take a second to like and subscribe to the channel. It helps our recommendations get out to others who are looking for great TV shows and movies. Thanks for hanging out. Have a great day.